The economy is so bad you may as well just chase your dreams. I graduated from a top university with a tech degree and I still can't find a job in my field, and neither can most of the other people I know. So why not invest more of your time doing something you're passionate about? Making a living off of what you love doing and getting a regular job feels the same level as impossible, so just do something you're passionate about. And even if you can't end up making a living off of it, so what? You're still having fun. Nothing even matters anymore. So many of us are working food service and retail with bachelor's degrees, and we're on a floating rock, so what does it even matter? And we're only on this earth for so long. Do you really want to spend all your time praying to the corporate god, oh, please give me a job, sir? Or do you want to have fun? Oh, screw that. Find your own meaning in life. Go work your food service and retail job so you don't starve to death, and then do something you actually care about with the rest of your time. That way, when you actually do get a job in your field, you don't wake up 60 years old with your back hurting, regretting that you didn't give a fair shot to the things that you actually do care about in life.
The job market for the past few years has been trash, and it's still trash. People are faced with numerous challenges trying to search for a job. People are going years and years unemployed, all the while still putting in hundreds of applications a day. Not only is it draining and mentally exhausting, it gets to the point where you start thinking, I don't even want to do this anymore. You get to the point where you don't even want to imagine yourself in a workplace. Yes, you need that job for bills, but your brain starts getting used to not being at work.
Sometimes I wonder if the reason I'm not getting a job is because deep down, I don't even want one. The longer I've been unemployed, the more I realize how much I hate corporate America. After getting laid off 3 times, you realize you're really just another number. Plus, I hate sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. I hate the performative small talk, the hope you're doing well emails. I hate pretending to care about meetings that could have been emails. Maybe it's not even about being unhireable. Maybe my body just knows I'm gonna end up in another job that drains my soul.
I just want to know, is it even worth applying to jobs anymore? Or do you absolutely need a connection or a referral or something? Because I get ghosted by over 90% of the jobs that I apply to.
Most corporations have really turned the whole thing to an extreme greed point, where they want to keep all the profits to themselves and refuse to hire enough staff to actually deal with workload, which makes the job market this bad. A lot of people have been complaining about how much they have so much workload on them, and they're so understaffed in a lot of places. You have one person doing the job of 3 people and getting a pay, that is it, lesser than what one individual should get paid.
Something that's interesting to me in American politics is how often we talk about a job shortage, that seemingly there's too many people and not enough jobs. But we don't see that there's a million empty spaces for jobs that are only not filled because of company greed. So I used to be a cook at a cafe, and when it was busy, I would make, 30 sandwiches in an hour, whereas when it was slow, I could make as little as 0 per hour. I get paid the same $15 an hour, despite the fact that I'm producing a wildly different value for both. But it benefits the boss to only hire me even when it's busy. Because on those days, such as Labor Day, when I had to make like 60 sandwiches in an hour, it would have been monumentally easier if I had a second person cooking with me. But that would mean the boss would have to hire another person to pay minimum wage to. So I'm essentially creating more value than I'm getting paid for. And there is an empty spot here where there could reasonably be a job. There's even more egregious examples of this, such as in healthcare. My mother is a certified nurse's assistant, and I asked her, how does it work? Do you have any machines that help you, handle old people? And she said there's a machine that helps them pick up old people since they tend to be quite large in their old age. And what used to take 2 people to lift someone into a bed now takes 1 person and a machine. But they are legally required to have 2 people operating the machine for safety standards. But typically, the only person working on a single floor in a nursing home is 1 CNA and a nurse. And the nurse is doing much more important things. So my mother has to use this machine alone, which goes against precautions and safety protocols. Essentially, there is an empty space for a job where there could be a second person, but the job gets done either way. The old person ends up in a bed. It's just that my mother has to exert more energy. Whereas it would be much easier if there was a second person, but the company would make much less money if there was a second person. So here's my solution to this. We absolutely fucking crush every business, big, medium, small, even your local mom and pop shop, under the iron fist of socialism. I believe that if a job or a company makes a machine that can do the work of 5 people in an hour, or in 8 hours, the work of 5 men in 8 hours, we do not fire those 5 men and then hire 1 man to work 8 hours. We keep those 5 men on and pay them each 8 times more to work 1 single hour. Oh, he is insane. They are insane. The spectators misgender them in anger. This is irrational if you're looking at it from a capitalist point of view. But if you really think about it, what changes? 5 people get a better quality of life, and the corporation makes less money. Actually, they make the same amount of money. They don't even make less. All they lose is the opportunity to make more money off the suffering of 4 people who would get fired. So America does not have a job shortage. We do not have an employment crisis. We have a labor gouging crisis. Employers want to take as much value from you as they possibly can, even though you are paid a flat rate. If you're paid $15 an hour, your employer wants to get as much value out of you in that 15 minutes, or in that 1 hour, sorry. Whoop, 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 whoop. I didn't convey this in the most concise way, and I'm now at the 4-minute and 9-second mark. I don't expect all of you to watch this, but in conclusion, if I was the hot pink czar instead of the red czar, I would absolutely fucking crush every business with my fist. I would make it entirely illegal to fire someone if you find a more efficient way to do something. And I would make it fully illegal to push someone to do more work. There is a set amount of work that you can push them to do, and anything above that, you are disbarred from doing business. I know I sound insane, and I am naive. Recently, I've been reading economics books. Just today, I got a Milton Friedman book from the thrift store. So trust me, I will be very well versed on capitalism, and I will be even more of a psychotic communist by the end of that book. Victory.
Let me tell you how badly our economy is literally not hiring right now. Not only are they not hiring, but take a quick search on TikTok and see that all of the recruiters are being fired right now. Do you want to know the real sign that our economy is going to crap and there's no one hiring? They start with the recruiters. You don't need recruiters if you're not hiring and recruiting. 2026 is predicted to be the worst job market for college graduates in 5 years. And it's not even just like college graduates. No one is getting a job in this economy. I have my master's degree in marketing. Most of us have been laid off because AI is taking over our marketing field. So what's the answer? Because I don't know.
Now let's talk about the greed of the corporations and how far it has gone. There's a larger number of outsourcing for jobs now. You make phone calls, and you're trying to talk to customer service. And most of the time, you're talking to people that are living in a whole different country from where the company offers services or sells products.
I hate to admit this to people, but the only reason why we're having issues with finding jobs right now is because these companies want to outsource people in other countries because it takes less money to pay them. Because in their currency, it translates to a lot more money for them. Yeah. That's why whenever you call a company's call center or customer service, it sounds like, people that have strong accents from different countries. Why? In those countries, they can pay them cheaper. Like, let's just say, for example, if you pay them $200 a week in American dollars, to them that's probably more than enough to live well in that country. So, or at least like on a pretty good income where they can be comfortable, or at least pay all their bills with ease. That's why. How I figured that out? Because when I went to, Saudi Arabia, and when I traveled to my country, Bangladesh, it was so many years ago, the currency, and I'm out here, I'm worried about, like, oh my God, what if I spend so much money? No, literally, you can spend $2, and that's like 20 Saudi riyals to them. So you can purchase a lot of stuff under American dollar, and to their currency, it's a lot. American currency is very valuable in those countries. So yeah, we have greedy CEOs that want to try to save money and underpay people. Yeah.
I've been unemployed for 6 months now, and one of the things that I have found most annoying in this process of looking for a job is me completing applications, declining to self-identify, and these companies emailing me after I've submitted my application, trying to strong-arm me into self-identifying. You beating down my email doors, begging me to self-identify is not going to get me to change my mind. It's just not going to get me to do it. If you all weren't so discriminatory in your practices, people would be happily self-identifying. But because I am a Negro, and I know that works against me in this application process, considering how many of us have been laid off this year, what makes you think I want to self-identify? We've all heard about people who look like me lying on their application saying that they are Caucasian and then all of a sudden becoming the most desirable candidates they've ever seen in their entire lives. Even though you all say that, the race and all of that, it doesn't matter, we don't get to see it, all of the lies and gaslighting that you all feed us. So I don't want to self-identify. Now, if you decide to hire me and I have to identify, cool, fine, great. But at this point, I'm just an applicant. Why are you so pressed?
I do not do assessments or assignments for the interview process when I am in the market for a new job. I don't care if I don't have any dream companies ever in mind that I ever want to work. Let's be so for real here. But I don't care if it was a dream company, a company that's very prestigious and big. I don't care. I'm not doing any type of assessment or assignment, and here's why. So I honestly believe that a lot of companies will use the information that candidates put in their assessments and their assignments and use them as a way to test these strategies in their company. So you cannot tell me that you don't give these assignments and assessments and have them so in detail and so in depth, and then once a person submit goes, oh yeah, we're not going to pick you. You're not going to be working here. You're not going to be a top contender. Sorry, you don't get the position. There's no way they're not then taking and storing that information and then testing it with the people that work at their company to see if it works for their company. And the reason being is because obviously, when you apply to a position, everybody is qualified for something somewhere. And even though just because you don't get picked for a position, that does not mean that you're not highly qualified, that you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't know your position very well. So they're going to take that information that you have then given them, and they're going to use it at their companies. Some of the assessments and assignments that they have people do are insane. I remember in the past, I was interviewing for a digital marketing agency, and they wanted me to do this take-home assignment, and it was like 2 questions. This was when I was very early in the game, so I'm like, oh, okay, it's only 2 questions. It's nothing crazy. These were insane questions, and you had to fill out a spreadsheet with information. You had to write like a Word document and then give them like examples and things like that. And I don't remember what the questions were exactly, but it had to do around like different strategies that you could use if a new customer or client comes on board. Like, what type of strategy would you use in order to get their return on investment up and get their engagement and things like that up. And I remember doing this assignment and thinking that I did great, and they did not pick me. And I'm not saying this because I didn't get picked for the company. I'm saying because I've did this way back in the past a few times and realized I'm not getting picked for any of these positions that I'm doing this extensive work on, but yet the companies that don't ask for this, they will take a chance on me. I honestly think these companies are 100% using that. So me personally, I do not do any type of these assignments or assessments, because you're not about to use the knowledge that I have, that I've just given you for free, to then make your company money and not pick me.
I just genuinely want to know, when the fuck did it become normal to change our resume every time we apply for a new job? That doesn't make any fucking sense. This economy, this job market has just gotten so bad to the point that we need to change our resume every time we apply to a new job. Why is that even a thing? We need to be questioning this. You know how much time and effort it takes to craft a whole new resume? I mean, yes, we have AI to make it easier, but who the hell wants to keep doing that? Because now you got to fucking remember which resume is for which type of job that you're looking for. Like, who wants to do that? I'm so sick of this job market and all this BS stuff that they be asking us to do. And the fact that we even have to do that. Now, most of us have to seek out actual professional help from professionals who are good at giving us jobs that are actually hiring. Why do we need even more professional help to just apply for basic jobs? It's getting out.
As stressful as this job search is, and getting an automated rejection email telling you they moved forward with other candidates and still repost the same job, the application process is horrible too. It's a long, lengthy, and will consume a lot of your time, even up to an hour for some. And I don't blame people who refuse to participate in the whole questionnaires, assessments, etc. I know many of us are really trying our best and we're thugging it out here, and I really wish us all the best, and I hope that hopefully one day this all becomes a history and we move forward and get a better economy and better job markets and opportunities. You've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in the comment section below your opinion, and your thoughts are well appreciated. Goodbye till next time.